Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time something a little bit different. We're going to be taking a look at the Game & Watch emulator running on the RG351M. Now I don't know if you remember the original pocket-sized Game & Watch games. They did recently re-release one. Nintendo released an official Game & Watch game. But those were the precursors just before the Game Boy was released, back from about 1980 up to 1989, and then along came the Game Boy. There was single screen ones similar to this, then there was flip-top double ones similar to the Nintendo 3DS. We also had tabletop versions, and they also went into color as well. I think they were fascinating. I used to have the full set of them, every single one. I even wrote magazine articles on them. However, that's another story. What we're looking at today is seeing just how well some of those early games play emulated on the RG351M using the Game & Watch emulator. So I think it will be quite interesting. So that's what we're going to be having a look at right now. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Game & Watch. Now, I'm not sure if you know the Game & Watch games, but they were published by Nintendo pre-Game Boy. So we're talking their very earliest video games, basically handheld consoles, and they each one had just one game on it, and they came out from very late 1979, early 1980 up to 1989 when the Game Boy of course came along. Now this Game & Watch emulator that comes with the RG350, it's got 59 games on it, which is almost the full set. However, then it's not all 59 Game & Watch games, so there are some tabletops as well. On this particular device, it's these single screen games. These are the only ones that we're going to be able to play properly, because the double screen ones just aren't going to work at all because they're too small. So this is Mickey Mouse, and the 4 buttons are done this way: up and down, and up and down. So all you have to do with this particular game is get Mickey over to the right bit as the eggs are falling down. And this was exactly how they were like back in the day. Hard to believe now, isn't it? And they get progressively faster. And there's a few little variants as well. Look, I dropped an egg there. I never owned this one when I was a kid, but I had the full set of these back in the 80s when you could find them around, and I started collecting them. There was no sort of guides to see which ones were around, so I wrote my own. Oh, I'm really bad at these nowadays. But this is what they were like, and they've done really well to emulate these. It's just, they've had to basically recreate the entire game in this format, and it's not an easy feat by any means. But of the 59 games included, only a handful work, because they've done some of the later double screen ones, and they just don't run very well on such a small screen. In fact, they're actually unplayable. There we are. You'd need to be playing them on a different sort of Android device with a much, much bigger screen, and then they would be absolutely possible. But we'll have a look at a few more since we're here. Now, Parachute, that was a great one. That was a single screen one, and it was probably one of their most popular games, so we'll be able to give that one a blast, that's for sure. It's there we are, very, very popular. You can still pick these originals up today for not a lot of money, if you fancy one. I love the little Chinook helicopter in the corner there. Great stuff. Let's get this one going then, if I can figure out how. There we are. There we are. So you control the lifeboat, so it literally is left and right. Not a lot to worry about. And all you have to do is pick up the parachutists as they're coming down. It's harder than it looks, I'm just saying. But this was definitely one of the popular ones. Another really good one in a similar vein was Lifeboat, but that is on here. It's been emulated, but it's a dual screen one. And it's a bit too small for this particular system. But you get the idea, and it does get progressively quicker, I assure you. But you've got to stop these guys getting eaten by the sharks. Darn it. Last life. Of course, these original Game & Watch games are some of the most expensive early Nintendo games to collect. But there you go. So that's Parachute. That wasn't bad for a first time in a couple of decades, I would think. Should we see if we can see one more? Now, I do know one that I used to love was Snoopy Tennis. Now, I think that, yeah, it came out as a panorama, a tabletop, and this one, which I believe is a single screen version. So once again, this one should play fine. Let's have a little look. There we are. Yeah, this is another really easy one to find. There we are, start, yeah. So there's Charlie Brown on the left, and you play Snoopy, and he can go up and down the tree, and he has to bat the tennis balls back at the exact point. And believe me, it's harder than it looks. And you got Peppermint Patty at the top there, or is it Sally? I don't know. But she's thrown in the occasional curveball. And like a lot of these games, they start off fairly easy, and then they get manically difficult very quickly. But once you've really mastered them, the aim then is to get up to 999, because that's always the top score. I'm not doing bad, actually. But as I said, if you're on a bigger device, if you've got a large iPhone, or Android phone, rather, or a tablet, and you run the Game & Watch emulator, the games are readily available online. You'll be able to play the double screen ones without too much trouble as well. But they are just too small on this particular device. So I'll give, what I think we'll do, we'll have a look at one more, and we'll have a look at Lifeboat. And you'll get an idea of what I mean, because I don't think it's quite playable. Here's Lifeboat. Certainly one of the best games ever to come out as a Game & Watch. And one of my favourites. It's basically you're rescuing the survivors from a sinking ship. So there it is, you see. So that's what, and the actual device itself was a beauty to behold. Let's see if we can give it a try, shall we? We want to get onto Game A. There we are. You see how small it is? So you've got a lifeboat on each side of the screen. And the guys are coming down, similar to Parachute style. But you have to get the guys off to the edge so that you can unload the lifeboat, because each lifeboat can only hold 3 people. So if this was on an ever such a slightly larger screen, we'd be quids in, wouldn't we? But it's a fantastic game. One of the best Game & Watches that were ever made. Just crazy, isn't it? And this one you need, because you've got the 2 screens, you need eyes in the back of your head. Brilliant, eh? So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at the Game & Watch emulator and the RG351. It's not ideal. You can only play those really most basic single screen games. This double screen game for me, there's only one other one like this, and it's not emulated yet. The ones which are 2 screens above each other, like Donkey Kong, for example, Donkey Kong 2, the Zelda one, they're too small to play on this device. You're going to need to look at an Android tablet or something like that to get the most out of it, or even on desktop. They've been emulated now. But anyway, I thought you'd enjoy that little look because it's something a bit different. And I never had this on the RG350, so I'm delighted to be able to emulate some of these games now on the little handheld. So I hope you've enjoyed that video. If you have enjoyed today's video, do please give it the thumbs up. Do please consider subscribing if you've not already for regular RG351 content. If you've not bought one of these devices yet, there's a link down below to get them from Droix, which is a British company. You get 5% off if you follow my link, which is not inconsiderable. I've also put links to buy these on eBay and Amazon down below as well, should you wish to use them instead. Thank you very much for watching today. And I look forward to seeing you again with another RG351 video. I believe it's going to be the SNES next, the Super Nintendo, very, very soon. Bye.